Defending has totally changed in FC25 after the gameplay refresh. If you have been struggling with the changes, don't worry, because this tutorial is going to change the way you play. EA has made defending way more manual, and the AI assistance? It's barely there now. Let's quickly cover the major changes. Defending is now less assisted. That means the game isn't going to bail you out if you make mistakes. Number 2, AI pressing is much weaker, so you can't rely on your AI teammates to win the ball for you. And finally, attacking has become more fluid, which means your opponents have more tools to break you down. For example, you'll notice that auto interceptions are much less common. If you're not positioning your players correctly, the ball will slip through. Similarly, the days of AI defenders pressing and tracking runs are gone. You have got to manually mark those players now. Sounds scary. Don't worry, I've got the tips you need to master this new defending meta. Defending is all about reading the game and making smart decisions. Here's what you need to focus on. Jockeying. The jockey button is your best friend. Hold L2 LT to stay controlled and use R2 L2 for quick jockeying. Use this to track your opponent's movement and cut off passing lanes. When jockeying, you have to make sure you don't overcommit to either side of the attacker. You have to position yourself diagonally so you can react to the directional changes of the opponent. When the opponent slows down, you slow down with the L2 jockey button. If he tries to get away, you hold L2 plus R2 quick jockey. Quick jockeying is especially useful against agile attackers who love to change direction. Practice this in one-on-one situations to stay in control. You will fail, but eventually, as your anticipation improves, so will your 1v1 defending. For example, if you are going to predict a speed boost, then make sure you take a couple of steps back with your defender so you can react to the opponent. Now we'll cover how to anticipate passes to completely shut down your opponent's option. Remember, always track diagonally and slow down when your opponent slows down. 1v1 defending has to be reactive. Manual interceptions are key. Position yourself between the passer and the receiver and use the left stick to adjust your player. Here, timing is everything. One trick is to watch the opponent's body language. Is he looking for a through ball? Has he triggered someone on a run in behind? Move into the lane early to intercept. In just a moment, I will teach you how to time your tackles perfectly to win the ball without giving away fouls. But before that, we need to shift our focus back to interceptions. The AI will not intercept a lot. That you need to micromanage your players. Cover one passing lane, then immediately cover the next most dangerous passing lane, and you will intercept a lot more passes. But your priority should always be covering dangerous passes, which are passes to the striker, for example. Because if the opponent gets one on one against your defender, he has the higher odds of beating you post patch. A mistake I see a lot is spamming the tackle button even in Elite Division. Remember, patience wins battles. Don't spam the tackle button, wait for the right moment. Especially in one-on-ones, since the defenders won't be able to recover from a mistimed tackle like they were able to before the patch. Standing tackle is much more effective than a risky slide tackle. The perfect tackle timing is when the opponent isn't having a ball contact. That means when the ball is away from him. That could be during the exit animation of a skill move, just when he is about to shoot, or when he is about to take a heavy touch. If you keep this rule in mind, you will be able to win a lot more tackles. And tackling is important in this game now. You have to make a manual tackle, otherwise the opponent will punish you. If you're struggling with counter attacks, don't worry, I got you. Learn to use the right stick to manually switch players. That goes without saying, and it is ever so important now after the patch. If you struggle to right stick switch, I suggest you try zero right stick switching sensitivity. I believe it will help you. Right stick switching is faster and gives you more control compared to L1 switching. But remember, don't spam L1 LB player switches. If you panic and make useless player switches, you will ruin your defensive shape, which will lead to gaps in your defense and you will concede a lot more goals. Always try to switch to a defender who is close to the danger zone. This gives you a head start on neutralizing the attack. And now that you've got the fundamentals, let's move on to applying them in real game scenarios. When facing counter attacks, don't rush in. Fall back with your midfielders first and guide the opponent wide, because when you are going to push him wide, he will have less threatening options to threaten your defense. Use your central defenders to block passing options, not chase the ball. The key here is to stay calm. Panic defending will leave gaps for your opponent to exploit, and that is the worst thing you can do. Panic and run out with your defenders like a headless chicken. Now I will show you how to deal with high pressure situations and break free without losing possession, because building up is a part of your defense. If your opponent is pressing high, keep calm. Use quick short passes and switch the play if you need to. This creates space for you to recognize. You can also pass the ball to your goalkeeper to relieve the pressure. Now, talking about defending in the box, it is all about patience. Use jockeying to close down angles, but don't dive in. Force your opponent to make the mistake. When you are patient in defense and try to stay close to the opponent without overcommitting, you frustrate the opponent and they are more likely to make a mistake. Be methodical in your defense. One trick here is to stay goal side of the attacker. This keeps you in a position to block shots or intercept passes, and it will change the way you 1v1 defend. Now, offside traps are very important after the patch. The manual offside traps are important because they will help you press the opponent. Activate the manual offside trap by clicking the upper directional arrow twice. Use it when the opponent isn't facing your goal. Regarding formations, I recommend you run a formation with 2 CDMs, as it will help you defend with numbers behind the ball. Don't isolate your defenders. This game is a lot about playing to the playstyles, and you need correct playstyles on your center backs and your CDMs. Guys, one playstyle that I absolutely recommend that you have is quick step. If you double tap the R2 button while chasing an attacker, your player will accelerate faster in defense if he has the quick step playstyle. That's why I'm using CBs who have this playstyle. Now for your CDMs, I recommend that they at least have silver intercept. Silver intercept will help them cover more ground when they are trying to intercept the ball. One of my favorite defending playstyles is definitely jockey after the patch. Many players don't have it golden. If they have silver or white jockey, it's fine. And block is also very important. I mean, it's a trade-off, right? So if you have a choice between someone like Klosterman compared to a defender like Saliba who has anticipate, I would choose Klosterman after the patch because he suits the meta more. So this is what you need to consider, and building your team accordingly is very important. Same goes for your fullbacks, guys. Try to have quicker fullbacks. He doesn't have quick step. Ideally, you need someone who has this playstyle. And if you are looking for a free left back, this left back from the season pass is also very good that you can use. Now, these tips are only as good as the practice you put in. Mistakes are a part of learning curve, so don't get discouraged. Think of every match as a chance to learn. Even if you lose, analyze what went wrong. Did you dive in too early? Did you position your players poorly? Make adjustments and ask yourself these questions, and you will see improvement. This tutorial helped you. Smash that like button and subscribe for more.